Good morning, all you baseball fanatics. I'm Alex Sheehy, and today I'm going to be making my predictions, way too early predictions probably, on who's going to win each division, American League and National League. So let's get into making our predictions because I've got some crazy thoughts in my head, okay? So we're going to go do American League. No, actually, we're going to do National League first because why not? So in the National League, we have East, Central, and West. We're going to start from East to West. So in the East, we have the Philadelphia Phillies, New York Mets, Miami Marlins, Atlanta Braves, and Washington Nationals. And that is the order that they finished in 2025. So the Phillies obviously ran away with it, being 13 games ahead of the New York Mets. And the Braves kind of fell off completely, being 3 games behind the Miami Marlins, and the Miami Marlins were 4 games behind the New York Mets. So that division was kind of split pretty harshly. Like no one was in range of each other whatsoever because the Washington Nationals were 10 games behind the Atlanta Braves. So that league was a little iffy, but the New York Mets made quite the roster change in the offseason aspect of it. Like they got rid of Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, who else did they get rid of? Brandon Nimmo. So they were in need of outfield help, of pitching help, and of closing help. So they went ahead and signed Devin Williams. They went ahead and signed Jorge Polanco for their first base position, and they went and signed Bo Bichette for third base because Francisco Lindor is taking shortstop position, and then they got Marcus Semien at second base, so their infield is stacked. They have Jorge Polanco, Marcus Semien, they have Francisco Lindor, Bo Bichette. They have in their left field, because they just signed an outfielder, Luis Robert Jr. Now, Luis Robert Jr., he kind of fell off in the past few years, but it's a huge, huge signing for the Mets because they needed someone to replace Brandon Nimmo. And so they have a quite stacked outfield as well. But then they also got Freddie Peralta as starting pitcher. So they got Freddie Peralta, Devin Williams, they got Luis Robert Jr., they got Bo Bichette, they got Jorge Polanco. They were busy this offseason. And looking back at the standings as is, the Philadelphia Phillies, all they really did was get rid of some pitching and kind of sign the same people they had. Like they signed Kyle Schwarber to a deal. The Ranger Suarez got the boot, or he didn't get the boot, but he signed with the Boston Red Sox. So my question is, are the Mets going to be better than the Phillies this year? Because the Phillies kind of lost more people than they gained. I mean, I wouldn't say that Nicholas Castellanos was really a loss on their part, but still, Philadelphia Phillies didn't really get much this offseason. So if I had to make a prediction, I enjoy the Phillies. I love the Phillies. But if I had to make a prediction, I think I am going to go with the New York Mets. I think Devin Williams is going to have a better year because I think Devin Williams is bound to have a better year coming up because he had a few hiccups after leaving was it the Brewers? After leaving the Brewers, he had a little hiccup with the Yankees and stuff. I think he's going to get that back with the right coaching. And if that's the case, they'll have a good player to close out games. And I think the Mets are going to make substantial progress from what they finished 4 games above 500, but I think they would actually be in the running against the Phillies. I think it'll be toe-to-toe, but I think the Mets are going to take the Phillies head on and take charge in winning the division. So moving on to NL Central, we have the Brewers, Cubs, Reds, Cardinals, and Pirates. In that order of finishing. This was a little bit more closer of a race. I mean, sure, the Cubs were 5 games behind the Brewers. Reds were 14 games behind. Brewers are not going to do well. I don't think so. Brewers refused to put any money into offseason. Like, they got rid of Freddie Peralta. They got rid of their ace pitching starter. I don't think they're going to do well. I think the Brewers just had a streak. They ran with it, and that's what happened. I don't think they're going to get it again. I think the Cubs are going to be in the running because they have really good pitching rotation still. They added Bregman to their lineup, and I think the Pirates are going to do 10 times better than they did last time because they have Connor Griffin that's more likely going to get pulled up, And the Pirates went out and signed a ton of people. They had probably one of the busiest and one of the top graded off seasons of this off season of 2025. So I think I'm going to put the Chicago Cubs and Pittsburgh Pirates up there with the Reds balancing in the between. But I really think the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to be fighting this out, duking this out, because I think the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to do phenomenal this season because of the transactions they have made in the past season or in the past off season. Cubs and Pittsburgh Pirates battling out in the NL Central, along with the Philadelphia Phillies and Mets battling out within the East. I think Mets and the Cubs will take both of those, though, even regardless of fighting who's not. And now we have NL West. We have the National League West, which is the Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Diamondbacks, and the Rockies, in that order. Because obviously Rockies are down and out. And I think the Rockies are still going to be down and out. I don't think they are. I think they're still far from trying to recover from the deficit they are in. And obviously, I think the Dodgers are going to take the. I think the Dodgers are still going to continue to just run the NL West. The Padres will probably be close to second, but the Giants have been making a little bit of a comeback. And I think they will still do. They will do mediocre. They finished at 500. The Giants did. I think that's probably where they're going to end up in. I think they're going to stay around 500 this season as well. But I think the Dodgers are just going to run the West. I think Padres will give them a run for their money, but I think still the Padres will fall short to the Dodgers. So I believe the Dodgers will win the NL West. Unfortunately, because I'm kind of over the reign of the Dodgers, but they are good. They are good. Like, they have phenomenal players. They signed Kyle Tucker. Like, you can't beat them. Like, you know, Kyle Tucker is probably like, if you can't beat them, join them, you know? And that's kind of how it is. So the Dodgers, Cubs, and the New York Mets are my opinion on the West, Central, and East. Now, if we go up to the American League, all right, so this is where it gets a little exciting because I love the American League the most. In the AL East, we have the Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, Tampa Bay Rays, and Baltimore Orioles in that order. So, this is a division that is going to be immaculate. I believe so. Blue Jays have phenomenal potential. They signed a lot of their same players. The only person they really lost, I think, is Bo Bichette. But they have so many other people who can fill in for him that did phenomenal in the World Series. Like, there's no doubt about it that they can find someone to replace him. And they also just signed a bunch of pitchers. They took some pitchers from the Tigers, which kind of makes me sad. But the Yankees, they have a really good setup. Boston Red Sox have a phenomenal rotation that's going to be substantially better than last season because they added Sonny Gray, they added Ranger Suarez, and they have the legend Garrett Crochet that is probably going to may or may not win his first Cy Young this season. Tampa Bay Rays, I think, have the least potential of them all because they just lost a few of their players like Brandon Lau, and like I think they're probably going to finish more towards the end of the bracket than the Baltimore Orioles. Now, the Baltimore Orioles don't really have much pitching that they really got, but they got Pete Alonso. Actually, I don't really know if they got it anymore, but I know they have potential, like Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, like all these players that have the potential. Jackson Holliday is out right now, though, due to a broken hand, I believe. So I don't know when he's coming back, but they still have this potential in them that they can bounce back and definitely be the at least top 3 contending for the Division Series title. But who do I think is going to run the AL East? I believe the Yankees are going to run it for most of the season, but I really do believe that the Blue Jays will win it. I think the Blue Jays will keep going. They'll keep feeding off the energy that has come from going to the World Series last season. I think the Boston Red Sox will give them a run for their money too. If I had to give a final answer, I would say, is Garrett Cole coming back? Because a lot of the pitchers haven't been healthy. Like, the Yankees' pitching rotation has not been healthy at all. I'm going to go with Blue Jays. I'm going to go with Blue Jays winning the AL East. That is my prediction, is the Blue Jays winning the AL East. I need to get a whiteboard. I need to copy all this down. I think the Blue Jays are going to contend with the Red Sox and Yankees, but I think Blue Jays will pull it off ultimately because they have pitching and hitting. AL Central. I love the Detroit Tigers. Obviously, I have a Detroit Tiger clock back there, but I'm not going to be completely biased towards them. So we got the Guardians, Tigers, Royals, Twins, and White Sox all in that order. I think White Sox will still be at the bottom. I think Twins will also be at the bottom. I think if I had to pick a team that is going to contend with the Tigers, because let's be honest, Tigers had the most movement in the AL Central in the offseason, signing Framber Valdez, signing Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen had like a 1.76 ERA or 7.4 ERA against every other MLB team besides the Detroit Tigers. The only team that really beat Kenley Jansen up were the Detroit Tigers, which is phenomenal because he joined us. But they signed Verlander. They got quite a few players. We signed Gleyber Torres back. Like, this is a league that we're going to. I think this is our year. We just got Skubal. We kept Skubal around, obviously. I think the Tigers are going to win the Central, no doubt about it. I really do believe that. They might not be doing very good in spring training, but they're trying some players out. I think Kevin McGonigal will come up and be a bat that the Tigers desperately need. I think the Tigers and the Kansas City Royals will be contending for the first place. I don't think the Guardians are going to do as good this year. I don't think they really added on anyone. I don't think they really did anything this offseason. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Royals will have a better chance of standing with the Tigers than the Guardians this year. I'm going to say the Tigers are winning the AL Central. No doubt about it in my mind. Then the AL West we have. So we have the Mariners, the Astros, Rangers, Athletics, Angels, in that order from when they finish. I think the Mariners are going to run with it. I think they're going to run away far and wide and just everything above it. They're going to go above and beyond. Like, there's nobody contending in this league. Like, the Astros lost their ace, Framber Valdez, and sure, they signed Tatsua Amai. I probably butchered that name. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But they have that. But I also forgot they had Hunter Brown. They still have Hunter Brown. I will admit that. I don't think Astros will contend as well as I would hope they would, because I'm honestly not. I kind of like the Astros. I don't think they're going to stand with the Mariners though. I think the Mariners still have a great rotation. We have one of the at least top 10 in the MLB. And then they still have phenomenal bats. The only person that really lost was Jorge Polanco, correct? I think so. So I'm going to go with Seattle Mariners winning the AL West division series. There's no way that it does. There's no way that they don't, right? I think the Astros will give them a good run for their money, but I don't see them holding up. And then Texas Rangers, they finished at 500, and honestly, if they kept Nathan Eovaldi for longer in the season, I think they would have done a lot better. I think they would have gave the Astros a run for their money, who were only 6 games ahead of them. I do believe that if all the pitching rotation for Texas Rangers are healthy, I think the Rangers would be in the running for going after the Mariners. I do believe that. I think that if all players in the Rangers lineup are healthy and in the rotation are healthy, then they would be up there in the Astros spot instead. The Athletics and Angels still have a lot of working out to do, especially because the Athletics have no home yet. They don't know. Well, I think they have a home in Las Vegas soon, but they can't land any trademarks. So, I don't know how the Athletics are. The Athletics are in the midst of trying to move, so they can't really focus on a lot of baseball right now. But I think the Mariners will win the AL West. So let's do a complete rundown again. So starting from the top, AL East. I'll have it on the screen, by the way. AL East, we had the Toronto Blue Jays winning the entire East Division. Then AL Central, we had the Tigers winning the AL Central. AL West, the Mariners will be taking that, I believe, in my prediction. My prediction for NL East are the New York Mets. I think the Mets are going to come back and make a huge comeback and do phenomenally better. And then NL Central, I believe the Cubs will win that, but I think the Pirates will be close to winning it as well. But my prediction is firmly standing on the Cubs. And then the NL West, obviously we have the reigning Dodgers, the 2-time World Series champs. The Dodgers will obviously take that. I don't think the Padres have enough gusto to beat them. So those are my predictions. The MLB standings, finishing 2026 season. Those are my predictions for that. I will be making many more predictions before opening day starts. I will be making my opening day predictions in the next episode, so please stay tuned for that one. And if you guys enjoyed this, then please subscribe for more baseball, and like the video, and comment down below what I should make next. What prediction should I do next? Let me know if you disagree with me. Seriously, I'm all in for conversation. I will make a video about having the conversation. Like, I enjoy that. I think it'd be fun. So let me know who you think would win the series or the divisions. Let me know down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.